Hey everybody, and welcome to Lockdown Training Week 4. I'm Rebecca Caro, and obviously I'm here with Marlene.
Hello, Faster Masters.
I almost couldn't believe that we'd be doing this 4 weeks in, Marlene. Doesn't it feel weird?
It's been a weird week, but we're like getting there, but it's been a weird week. I agree.
So before we kick into the detail of the show, just a reminder that our sponsors are essential to keeping the whole Faster Masters Rowing Radio going live on air. And we really rely on you to help us. So you can go to rowing.chat/sponsors. And we have two things this week. The first is William Marnie, who are a shirt maker for athletic men. If you need a good dress shirt and have a good athletic body, you may find that traditional manufacturers don't suit you. So please go to rowing.chat/sponsors, where you will see a link to the William Marnie website. The guys there have given us a exclusive discount coupon. So ladies, please buy for the gentlemen in your lives. Gentlemen, go shopping for yourselves. And every time you buy, we make a small commission on your purchase, and we would genuinely appreciate it if you could go and do that for us at this time. Now, our second sponsor isn't really a sponsor, it's us. We're doing an audience survey, and it's really important that we learn a bit more about you and what you think about the whole of the Rowing Chat network of podcasts. Now, you may have been with us since 2013 when I did my very first broadcast with Tim McLaren. Tim, I shall get you back on sometime soon. Or you might just be listening now for the first time through the Facebook live stream, and hello to everyone who's watching live at the moment. Please go to rowing.chat, scroll to the bottom of the homepage, and there's a little banner that says Audience Survey. Click on it, get a drink of your favorite beverage, and please answer the questions for us. You are really helping us if you do this, and we totally appreciate your energy and effort because it'll help us hopefully make it better for you and for us going forwards. So thank you for that. People watching live on the live stream, Andres Carrasco says, Philly is in the house. Hey, Andres, nice to meet you again. You are so loyal. It's great to have people with us live, and please feel free to throw questions in as you go. Now, Marlene, our first topic this week, going stir crazy. We are now getting used to the lockdown. What are you seeing in your community?
Well, that was definitely a shift in mood, I think, this week, as some people just, feeling like, oh, I'm just glad I got some new workouts. I was really starting to drag, and I just get the sense that people need to go outside, or they're getting a little bit tired of this routine. Maybe they're not quite used to being home as much as they're home. If you don't work from home, obviously you're used to being out and about quite a bit more. So I think that people have really appreciated like input in, oh, I needed some new workouts, or I needed to hear this because I have to kind of re-inspire myself. And the tedium was settling in, I think, a little bit more this week, and maybe it also has to do with it being a holiday weekend for many people, that it might be a weekend when they were typically traveling somewhere or going to see other people, and they're home, and it's not quite the same if you're used to going and spending holidays with your favorite people. So.
Yeah, I totally concur with that. My little training group, our quad ladies, hello if you're watching. We moved on, like you said, and this morning was the first step up workout. The ratings went up 2 points, and the comments afterwards are, golly, that's hard, and I couldn't believe that I did it. And we show that we've done the workout by photographing our faces when they're all hot and horrible.
Yeah, right. Not the screen of the erg, but your faces. It's more important.
Absolutely. You had to prove you really did the workout. And it's been good. One of the girls in the group sent us a text over the weekend going, I can't join you for the next session. And we're like, why? What's the problem? She goes, my kids made the erg room into a fort.
Oh, well, then what are you going to do? Right. You have the blanket over the erg, or maybe they put your erg under the table and then put the blanket on top of it or something like that. You have to be prepared for just about anything, I think.
You do. So if you are feeling that you're going a bit stir crazy, I recommend connecting with your friends and proactively planning to do something together at a fixed time. And personally, I have to do my workout in the morning. I find it really hard to do it after.
No, 100, just get it done, get that win first thing in the morning. Plus, the other benefit is if you wake up and you find that, oh my God, my mind just starts racing the moment I wake up, right? You're not even out of bed and your mind is going like, oh, I have to do all these things. People are they're stressed out. Everything's, a little bit out of whack right now. Put your training pants on, get on your erg or get on your bike and just start moving. Don't trust what your brain tells you. Start moving. And you're going to feel much better because you have to manage these cortisol levels. Your stress hormones start going wacky. And as soon as you start moving and exercising, things are going to start to moderate. Start to breathe a little bit more. You're going to feel a lot better. And I think that there's a whole routine you have to go through. Okay. You have to get on your, I'm going to say erg because I'm assuming people are on the erg. It could be your bike or whatever. Get on your erg. When you finish, do your stretching, do your flexibility work, go take your shower. After you take your shower, you're going to have that sense of being like structured again and, feeling clean and feeling like you can kind of face the world. You've got to go through the whole process. And, you're going to feel much better all day long. But, you've got to moderate this stress hormone levels right away in the morning, and you're going to feel much better all day. And I think that's a general rule across the board, but especially now when things are a little bit out of the ordinary for many people. And they have children at home. I don't have children at home, but so that's a whole another added layer. One of my good rowing coach friends lives in New York, and she lives right on the border of Central Park. And she's now got 3 little kids at home, and she's homeschooling them, 2 first graders and one's an 8th grader. And she said the coolest thing. She's like, we get up in the morning and we commute to home school. So we get on our bikes and we go ride 1 lap of Central Park. Then we come home and we do our lessons. And I thought, like, that's so cool. That's totally creative.
I have noticed that I haven't been tidying my desk as much because I commute to work, but I do sometimes work from home or I have evening calls. And because I'm forever packing stuff up and putting it in my briefcase, and I'd even gone and bought myself a new briefcase. Look at this. I have the most beautiful new dark green briefcase made by Dooney and Burke. Very cool. I haven't even gotten to use it except to check my laptop fitted in it. And now I have papers thrown everywhere because I don't have to pack up. And I've noticed it and I'm going to fix that.
Oh, see, I'm the opposite. I usually do work at home, but everything must be in place. I can't read a line of a message if everything is not in place. I was always this way. So I'm a little bit the other, that way around. But when you have to travel, when you've got a traveling office, you're used to having certain things in certain places, and what you take with you. I'm a strong believer in the Pomodoro method, which is you work in 25-minute time blocks, and then you take a 5-minute break. And after 4 blocks, you take a 15 or 20-minute break. It's a really good focus exercise. And it really works. Yeah, and it does work. And in those 5-minute breaks, you know what? You go change your laundry. You go make the bed. You go, wash a couple dishes. You throw this in the dishwasher. So, you can kind of do housework all day long and never get into that bad state. That bad state when it's more painful not to do it than to do it.
Exactly. Now, one of the challenges that a few people message us about is eating and drinking more. What have people been saying to you?
they said, we've been home cooking lovely dinners and really enjoying ourselves and having way too many cocktails in the evening, and I'm getting fat. So, so, you know, there with pleasures, there's these a little bit more leisurely time, which is good for people. But definitely watch, you know, like Rebecca says, she weighs herself every morning. Remember that, you know, watch it, because it can creep up on you. And if you're burning your calories off, I think that's just fine. I'm certainly not a Puritan when it comes to this aspect of life. However, you know, do keep an eye on it, because you don't want to come out of this 10 pounds heavier. And as masters athletes, we know how incredibly difficult it is to get it off. So don't put it on in the first place if you can avoid it.
I have also been actively reducing portion sizes. So when we go food shopping, I found some very beautiful cuts of meat, and there were 3 small ones in the packet. And so I took one, which I made with a salad, into a Thai beef salad for lunch. And then the other 2 we made into dinner, and deliberately trying to reduce the quantity on the plate.
Yes. Just be aware of it. I mean, just, you know, beef up your vegetables, right? We say.
Yeah, that's right. Throw more vegetables in.
And cook more. You know what? The cooking process itself takes time, and put foods in that have crunch. Your brain reacts to crunch. You know, your brain wants to sense crunch. That's why it likes potato chips and pretzels and things like that. Well, you can crunch red pepper slices, and it's going to give you, or red peppers with hummus or something like that. It's going to give your brain the same satisfaction without loading up on the extra calories, especially at night after you've finished your training in your day.
And red peppers apparently have more vitamin E in them than any other food.
Yeah, they're great. Tons of vitamin C as well. So
that's good to know. Maybe more than oranges. I think I heard that once.
No, red peppers have more. I think so. I think they do.
The other trick I will say is, if you're like us, baking, and baking's really getting to you, do carry on baking. But here's the trick: give away more than half of what you bake. So with our neighbors, we have a reciprocal baking deal, and we texted them, and we gave them a fruit pie for dessert, which I had made, which was nectarine fruit tart. And then 2 nights later, they came back with an apple crumble. So do enjoy the baking, and then find a way to share what you bake rather than eat it all yourself.
I never knew that you baked fruit tarts. Like, I never bake a thing. I've never even thought about baking, except for the buckwheat bread, which maybe we can give people the link to that recipe. I'm into hummus right now. So
you can make your own hummus.
Yeah, well, I do. I make a hummus with spinach and garlic and a little bit of lemon and lemon rind, and it's good.
Lemon rind. I love lemon rind.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite kitchen tools. This little scraper tool. It has a triangular head, and it has 4 tiny little holes in it. And you pull it around the outside of the lemon, and it pulls these little strips of just thin rind off.
I need one of those.
I will buy you one.
I would like one. You have to send it to another continent, though.
I'm told there's this amazing thing called online shopping, Marlene. I must introduce you to it. Talking of which,
I live in the woods. I don't know about these things.
Talking of which, let me introduce you to fun facts for the week. Now, our friends over at online, Gregory Smith and Sandra Rusendahl, started a new Facebook group called the Stuck at Home Rowing Club, and it has, as of now, 986 members. They started it as a kind of encouragement group to keep ourselves focused during lockdown. But Gregory posted this a couple of days ago. He says, "Attention clubmates, yes, I'm talking to you. Over the storied history of our proud club, which stretches back over 26 days, we have won no trophies, developed no champions, and launched no rowing careers. We have, however, provided some workouts, a place to vent, nearly killed me with Saunders land-based training, and now we come to the moment you've all been waiting for. We have a t-shirt." He says, "This shirt is guaranteed to make you row faster. It will improve your stamina. It'll make you more attractive. This beautiful t-shirt, lovingly crafted with some kind of extraordinary high-tech fabric, is available for a very limited time thanks to the help of Square Blades Rowing Club. Orders need to be in by next Friday. So that's Friday, 17th of April. But wait, he says, it gets even better. I know this is hard to believe. Not only do you get the t-shirt that housebound celebrities will undoubtedly be wearing next week while they record their pandemic TikToks, you'll also be helping Médecins Sans Frontières, or Doctors Without Borders, to battle the coronavirus pandemic. The shirts are being sold for British pounds 25, which is approximately 31 US dollars. 31 Canadian, 29.50 US, and around £6 to £8 of that will go to the charity. There are men's and women's versions, and they can be delivered basically anywhere. And Gregory wraps up by saying, I know it's too good to be true, but that's the miracle of people working together. So click the link, buy the shirt, and show it off to everyone you know. So let's take a look at the designs. Here is the front. It has the big COVID viral logo on it, and it says erging one boat length apart since 2020. And then on the back it has this lovely picture of a house, and it says the Stuck at Home Rowing Club, and then a ladder down into the basement with an erg, and it says go the social distance. Now the link will be in our show notes, and so please take a look afterwards, click the link, go buy it, share it with your friends, and let's have everybody showing up wearing the t-shirt. I'm not sure mine will arrive within 1 week, but maybe it will. And supporting Médecins Sans Frontières. Now, we also have a very special guest who is joining us on the program today. Let us welcome Jo Francou from Australia.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So Jo reached out to me through Facebook as we were talking about all these lockdown kind of things that we're all talking about. And she's very kindly going to tell us a little bit about herself. And we have one hell of a special gift from her to us all today. So Jo, tell us a bit about yourself and your background in rowing.
So my rowing career started at high school, actually, where we had a group of really competitive girls. I guess we were actually the first schoolgirl 8 to race at the national championships and win. It was actually a demonstration race in 1992. So I guess that's where it's all sort of kicked off for us, because 5 of our 8 ended up at the South Australian Sports Institute, and then one of the rowing coaches as well. So we were all part of the SASSY rowing program. I then went on to row for Australia as a lightweight rower in under 23 lightweight doubles, and then a lightweight quad scull in 2001, where we actually won the World Championships in Lucerne, Switzerland. So since then, I've now got 3 teenage boys, but since my rowing retirement, I've become an exercise scientist, personal trainer, and have Pilates qualifications, but I've always kept in touch with working with rowers as a remedial massage therapist, with recovery and training, stuff like that. But now I've sort of moved on into more of the Pilates side of things and doing rowing postural assessments and technique assessments on the ergos. And then what I found is over time, you notice, well, obviously common problems with rowers, especially in masters rowers, like hip mobility being a common issue. So
thank you for that. Well, that you are so right. Hip mobility is something that a lot of us suffer from. Personally, it's something that comes and goes somewhat in my own body. And so when Jo approached us and said, hey, can I offer some of my ideas and insights to you guys and to the group? I just said, yes, please. Thank you very much. And so today, your special gift is Jo is going to demonstrate some exercises that we can all do to help hip mobility as masters rowers. And I will say that the link to download her written and video advice will be in the show notes when we publish this. So watch carefully, but don't worry, we'll have all the details for you later. Jo, What are you going to show us?
So I'm going to show you my 4 favourite moves, like 2 of them pair together. So I use this in my pre-row warm-up or as a warm-up before the ergo, because it is really important to mobilise the hips before getting in the boat and like sitting on the erg. So my first exercise is like a reverse lunge, where it's really good for balance. Can you see me okay there?
Yep, we can see you.
Okay, good. So we're just stepping back, and I do like an alternate lunge where we're pressing the hips forward as we step back. And then you can hold on to something if your balance is a little bit unstable. And the next one is a side lunge, opening up the hip joint this way. So lunging to the side, holding on to the thigh like this. So I usually do between like 10 to 12 reps on each side, and then gradually working lower into the exercise. I'm just going to move the and the next one is, sorry, I'm going to move this onto the floor now. Hang on.
Oh,
this is
wonderful.
one of my favourite positions. So lying on the mat here with your feet nice and wide to the side, and it's just a side-to-side movement with the knees. So it's like a passive internal and external rotation of the hip joint. And then moving into a bridge and then rolling back down, because this movement helps to activate the glutes, but then releases through the front of the hips. That can be done as a double leg bridge, or I do like an advanced version, which is a single leg bridge.
Ooh.
And that one's a little bit stronger on the glutes, but you're working on hip flexion on one side and then hip extension on the other side. So it helps to sort of mobilize the hip joints as well. And it's a nice way to set up a session before the ergo or before you hit the water in the boat when we finally get back on the water.
Jo, that is fantastic advice. So let's just recap. We have first one, the reverse lunge. Second one, the side lunge.
Yes.
Third one, the lying side to side knees, side to side. And then the fourth one is the lying bridge, either double or single leg.
Yeah, and I sort of recommend to start with the double leg bridge and then progress it to the single leg bridge. And the beauty of the single leg is it challenges your pelvic stability. It helps to build glute strength, and then opens up the front of the hip joint there. So it sets the session up from the start.
That is so helpful. Jo, thank you for joining us. Let's get back to all 3 of us being on the stream. Now, Jo has very kindly said she's going to share with us a written PDF and some video links so that you can save those. And I will put them onto the existing fastermastersrowing.com blog, which is useful links for rowers during COVID-19. So this is a blog post I keep adding to each week. And we'll put your stuff right at the top of the page, Jo. And I'll make sure that's available after the end of the podcast.
I like the windshield wiper motion. I think that's a great hip mobility motion.
Yeah.
And masters need this. They need this. Don't cheat. No cheating.
No, and I think it's the thing is if you build a routine, so always do some mobility before you row, so then you've got the mobility and it will help set the catch up. It will help with your leg drive, and obviously the hips are a very important part of the rowing stroke.
That's really interesting because I know that there are different schools of thought about doing things before and after you row, particularly as so many of us, myself particularly, drive to the rowing club. We don't run or cycle there.
Yeah. And just spending 5, 6 or 7 minutes before helps to sort of, I guess, prepare the body for your training session.
Yes, and oh, I was going to say, so Rebecca, so actually to build on hopping into the car and driving to the club, also for your spine health, very important to be on your feet for at least 30 minutes before you get into a boat, because your discs are very hydrated when you get up out of bed. And the majority of disc injuries happen first thing in the morning, because people haven't been vertical long enough for the disc to compress down to the normal size. So I think if people are on their feet, when you're making your coffee in the morning, jog a little bit in place. And then when you get to the boathouse, do Joe's exercises. And that's going to cover two things: that it's going to keep you vertical for enough time to protect your spine before you hop into the boat. So you'll have your hips ready and your discs will be ready.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and I think preparing your hips will also help to unload the lower back, particularly because if you're a bit tight through the hips, you'll compensate coming into the catch, sort of moving through the body too much if you don't have the range through the hip joints.
Great. Thank you. That's really good advice. Jo, thank you for coming on and being with us. And if anybody else knows people who'd like to come join us, please get in touch. We're all online, all over the internet.
We're all faster masters.
Now, a quick reminder for people who haven't yet done it: if you want our free COVID-19 rowing training plan, it is a 1-week plan that you can cycle through as many times as you want. It's available on this link, which is in the show notes. And if you want, there's also a paid version, which has somewhat more detail in it. We had a few people get in touch, a lady called Emmanuel, asking questions about it. And just to be very clear, we give a structured amount of information on the general program, but if you buy the paid program, there's a lot more detail. And so don't expect to get a ton of information on the free one, but please understand we're trying to give the benefit to as many people as possible. So we really would love you to share it around and pass it on to your friends. Now, next week, Marlene and I have got a little tip that's going to come up. We're going to do a quiz, a rowing quiz that we will share online, and then we'll have a little leaderboard so that you can see how you did compared with your friends. Having said that, we'd love some ideas of themes or topics, preferably rowing related, that you think would be fun to include questions in. So message us through the Facebook page, message us through the fastermastersrowing.com website, and let us know what you'd like us to be asking quiz questions about. And a quick note to Tom Copeland and to Chris Anton, who were the gents who started this off and got me thinking about fun things that we could ask in quizzes. They can't be too difficult. We can't just have ones that you're the only person in the whole world who knows the answer. But do put up some ideas for us.
I'm staying up all night about this.
I had visions of you waking up in the middle of the night and go, who won the Harvard-Yale race in 1984?
Right. Who was the first captain of the Boston University women's crew?
Oh, I'll think about that. I'll come back to you. Now, any final words of motivation for the week, Marlene, before we sign off?
Just do it. Don't trust your brain, how it feels. Just focus on action.
Yeah, I'm definitely in favor of that. And help motivate each other. Do some confessions live. You know, what did you think of when you thought of quitting before that 4th piece that you knew you were supposed to do? And how did you overcome it? You know, did you imagine? I have a particularly wonderful image of a former coach of mine. And what would James say?
Right. That's your alter ego there. Well, and the other thing is too, I mean, think of this. This is a time like, if we were in North America, I would say this is like the end of November. You know, it's dark. Nobody feels like training. You have to push yourself. But you know what? In the long run, it's still going to matter, right? We have some race cancellations coming up. We're all dealing with the same thing, but it's not going to go on forever. And we need to think about the fall, and the training needs to be in there. So you need to, you know, you don't want to lose everything that you've gained all winter and then have to build this back over the summer. So, you know, even if you go on a maintenance plan and you continue training 3 times a week, you're not going to completely lose your fitness. But if you stop, you are going to going to detrain. So, you know, I would prefer you to train every day or whatever your normal amount is, maybe even a little bit more if you're enjoying dinners and cocktails. That might be worth a couple extra sessions. But in any case, you know, maintain at least 3 aerobic sessions a week, definitely. And at least then you're not going to have to totally make up the losses. But, you know, everything really does matter. And, you know, keep your fall goals in mind, and, you know, don't let it all like fly out the window right now.
Stay cheerful, stay healthy, look after each other, and be kind. Till next week, when we'll be bringing you lockdown training week 5. Bye-bye.